Wondering what life is really like on Canada's wild and crazy West Coast? This podcast is all about the people, the places, and Vancouver Island time. Together, we'll explore this island paradise, a combination of ocean, city, and country living. We'll meet the fabulous locals such as the Fudge Fairy and the Chicken Lady, who have chosen Victoria and Vancouver Island as their home. And we'll learn what makes this place unique and special to those who live here. And now, your host of Vancouver Island Time, Jane Johnston.
Hi everybody, it's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camaun, host of Vancouver Island Time. Today I'm here with
Rachelle Keeley from Premier Suites.
And we're going to be talking about the Colwood area, specifically the area around Hatley Park, which is just near Souk Road and Kelly Road. And you have lived here how long?
Since March of 2019.
So this is a new development, and this developer has done a few in the city. I'm just wondering what you like about the area. You are on Souk Road, so is it loud?
No, I used to live on Oak Bay Avenue, so it's the same thing. Oak Bay Avenue is full of traffic. So you do hear some traffic in the morning, but the insulation and the windows here are great. So when everything's closed up, you don't really hear anything. You get used to it.
So what made you decide to move from Oak Bay, which is kind of one of the preferred areas, to now the what is it called? The West Shore, the best shore?
It is the best shore. It was because of what Paul Davis was doing here. So he's built 16 townhouses out here, which I have one, and each one is built in with a revenue suite. So if you're paying $2,000 a month for a mortgage and you have a small suite behind your garage that produces $1,000, it really is what I needed. So it's perfect.
And are your clientele students from Royal Roads, which is right around the corner?
No, actually, I have the loveliest couple from Main Island that live downstairs, and they are just fantastic. I love them.
So I've been in there. They're not very big. I think they're only maybe 400 square feet.
Yeah, not even that, I don't think. Yeah, but it's self-contained. They have their own laundry. They have their own kitchen. I gave these guys the backyard, so they have their own outdoor space. And I have plans to develop that a little bit for them, so it'll be nicer for them in the summer.
So what is there to see and do out on the Best Shore?
Oh my goodness. I just had a student from the NESL program here. He was actually their chaperone, and he said, I can't believe everything that's around you. It's so convenient. So we went shopping one night and we hit the Walmart, the Lowe's, the Superstore, the Winners, the Canadian Tire. And we didn't even go to Costco. He went there with someone else. So everything you need is right here, and it's 6 minutes away. So you really can't beat that.
What about walking to places?
Oh, it's right on the trail here. And like you said, Hatley Castle is just basically right across the street. So walking out here is great. I'll be getting a bike and maybe a Segway in the summer. So I can just bomb around out here. It'll be really fun. It'll be great. So if you see me on my Segway, that's me.
So was it a hard transition coming to the West Shore from Oak Bay, though?
No, not really. Not for me. I'm kind of in a good position where, in the beginning I was late because I didn't really know how to deal with the traffic. But since then, Mackenzie Interchange is finished, and my commute is probably 25 minutes now. So I came in right at the right time.
What was the commute before?
45.
Yeah, you know what? I row in the morning. We go downtown for what time? For 7 o'clock. And previously I had to leave at 6:20, and now I have to leave I can leave at 6:35.
Yeah, isn't that great? So it's kind of like the old Victoria where it took you 15-20 minutes to cross town. Now it's kind of back to the same good feel of our little city, even though it's getting bigger.
So it's actually not finished. Only our part is finished, which is the thoroughfare, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we needed. Yay.
Okay, so what do you do to grab a meal out here? Where do you go?
Oh, well, my favorite, I am going to give them a big plug, is Bin 4. They've been my favorite restaurant for probably about 3 years now. And it's because they really do have gourmet hamburgers. And I took my ESL student there, and they were like, oh my God, if this opened in China, I would go there for sure.
So which burger do you like?
Well, I've tried the Heritage, the Seasonal, the Black and Blue, and probably the Delicioso as well. I would say it's the mushroom one.
Oh, that's my husband's favorite. I like the Heritage Burger myself, which has guacamole.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So I kind of I rotate those, and I also their house salad is the freshest, best thing in the city, and it's the best price for a small salad for lunch. Like I could eat there every day for what they're charging me for the salad. Please don't change that.
I find like I go there for a burger without a bun and salad, and it's totally so if you're on a keto, it's keto friendly, and it's awesome.
It's fantastic. It really is gourmet. I took my my cousin there. She owns a restaurant in Ottawa, and of course it's pub food. And I said, well, your pub food doesn't actually have to be pub food, so let's go to Bin 4. And she loved it. So she went back to Ottawa and made a bunch of changes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I think so. So more fresh food, healthier food for pub patrons. So you can go there and have a couple of beers and a healthy meal and not feel done in the next day like the food hangover.
So that one is on Goldstream at Millstream. What other places do you go to?
Well, there's a couple of noodle boxes. I like going over to the mall that's just behind me because everything's in there. They've got a Winners. They've got a Fairway. There's a Thrifty's right across the street from the Fairway. The Starbucks there is really relaxed, and it's quite big, so there's lots of room just to hang around there and have a coffee.
So that's at the West Shore Mall, which is right at the corner of Kelly Road and Veterans Memorial. What about the new development, Belmont Market?
I've only been there a couple times, but it's pretty good too. Like it's surprising that there's a Fairway, and then right behind it there's a Thrifty, so you really can choose which one you want, or you can check their flyers and just go across the street. My aunt used to drive across town to get chicken on sale. Now she can just go across the street.
Well, I find they've really got it dialed in now for Thrifties with their salad bar.
Yes, isn't that nice? So you can just go pick something up quick. Like I don't really like having to buy all those vegetables to make a salad. So if I can just go pick up a salad, like either at Bin 4, Thrifties, wherever, then it just makes my life so much easier for dinner.
By the way, did you know you can buy the dressing from Bin 4 if you bring your own container?
Oh, I did not know that, but that's good to know.
It's really awesome.
A guest star. This is Mrs. Lopez. She likes living out here too. Hi, girl.
Okay, so we've got. Do you ever go to Bantai?
I love Bantai. It is actually one of my favorite ones too. I'm not sure if they have one out here, but I haven't been to it. If there is, there's a new sushi restaurant just on the corner of the Belmont development. So, and that one is fantastic.
What's that called?
I can't remember. But if you do sushi Langford, it'll come up.
Okay, and then do you ever go to Brown's?
Oh yeah, Brown's is one of my favorites too. Apparently I eat out a lot. Sorry. I do actually. I don't really like cooking.
If you wear plaid, you'll fit right in at Brown's.
There you go. That's right. Yes. And everybody there is really friendly. I'm glad they have more than one location now.
And so what about, I find for business, the Uptown one is really good.
I have done business out here on the one on Goldstream Avenue. So it's super nice to meet somebody that, like, if you have a one of your clients or a business partner that's out in the West Shore, Brown's is perfect out here. And I haven't actually been in the one at Uptown, but the one downtown for sure too. The Bellinis are good.
Well, I find actually at the Uptown a lot of realtors meet there because it's central to the city.
Oh yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So what about in terms of entertainment? Do you go to the movie theater out here?
I haven't been to the movie theater out here, but I'm kind of more moving into New Year's resolutions and wanting to do a lot of fitness. And the rec center just down the road is huge, and it has everything. And there's hockey games out here. And there's the sports medicine people and soccer. So there's really a lot of outdoor stuff to attend. And
so you're talking about West Shore Rec Center?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And the Bear Mountain Arena?
And the Bear Mountain Arena that's just down below it, yeah.
So that was built for the Commonwealth Games, all of that development. And so there's even a velodrome there. And there's, if you want to go and learn how to ride your bike really fast, you can ride it on the velodrome.
No kidding. Okay, I'm going to try that this summer once I get the bike or the Segway.
And there's a trail, which is 2.5 kilometers around that park, which I used to walk every Tuesday with my mom group.
Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah, I do need to get outside more, but in the winter you don't really want to. But I feel like spring is coming. It's raining. Everything's turning green. It's perfect. I don't mind walking in the rain.
By the way, it's January.
But I know it's January.
So actually, that brings up a good point because I was born in February. So my whole life, I always in Ontario, I always had skating parties because there was never anything else to do in the winter. But there's tons to do, right?
Yeah, well, there's tons to do in Victoria. Victoria is great. I was born in April, and I used to live in the interior. And my wish and my dream for my birthday was that all the snow would be gone, and it never was. But here, it's gone.
Actually, that's true because I used to lead canoe trips in Ontario and we'd have to wait for the snow to be out and it would always be the last week of April. So we would go in May before the black flies.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Do you find, like talking about bugs, and you're in a new development, I see you do have screens on your windows, but a lot of developers actually don't put screens in because we don't really need them here.
I'm glad they're there because I do like to open this door and the back door so just the air flows all the way through. And I'm really glad they did it. You know, it's just kind of a finished product. So you're not having to do all this after your purchase stuff of putting in screens or, you know, measuring and figuring that out or hiring somebody to come and do it. It's already done.
Right. And also you have 2 cats.
And I have 2 cats and I don't like them to go outside because they're going to get fleas and ticks and they'll get sick and they'll get in fights. And they're safe and they can still like poke their nose out there and they're happy.
So, we're actually in our second interview because something happened to the first interview. And the last time you were talking about the quality of this development. So tell me about it.
Yes. The things that I really like about it is, well, the only thing when I was doing my due diligence that I could find about Paul Davis as a criticism was that he spends too much money on his finishes. As a purchaser, that's really not a problem, is it? So he did just small details, like I don't know if you can see on the ceiling there. So he's got crown moldings, he's got really big baseboards, heated floors in all my bathrooms. So I've got 3 bathrooms, all with heated floors. People walk in there and they're just like, oh my God, you have heated floors. Yes, I do.
And you've got gas.
And I've got a gas stove and a gas stove and a gas fireplace. So it makes it really nice for cooking. I've never cooked with gas before, so at first I was a little bit hesitant, but it's fabulous. It's super fast. Even heat, it's great.
Well, and also, I think you just need to get used to it, right? Because otherwise you can burn your stuff.
I haven't burnt anything, and that's really saying something for me who doesn't really like to cook or cook much. So, yeah.
And you have an awesome kitchen.
I do. I have a gourmet kitchen for somebody that doesn't cook. And so we had a big New Year's party. And of course, this room was full, that room was full. So it was nice to have people standing around my awesome, beautiful kitchen, having snacks and drinks and just feeling really comfortable.
What about the noise transference between the units?
I'm on an N unit, and I have heard nothing. Nothing at all. Occasionally I can wave at the neighbor in the backyard, and I get to enjoy their garden without doing a darn thing because my back window looks onto their garden. So it's perfect.
Last few questions about the area. In terms of walking, we talked about Hatley Castle and stuff. Tell everybody about Hatley Castle.
It's so easy to walk there, and the grounds are like one big garden. If you haven't been down there, absolutely go. There's just trails and tiny little roads everywhere over there and tons of parking. And they've done some wonderful gardening over there. I went to the Remembrance Day service over there, and it was jam-packed, but it was still so beautiful. So you've got the castle as the backdrop. You know, they film lots of movies and stuff over there.
X-Men is filmed there.
Yeah, X-Men was filmed there. Lots of stuff over there. So you just can really relax. There's military family housing on the other side of it and a trail that cuts through. So you really can walk all the way from the ocean up to the military housing and all the way to Hatley Castle. It would probably be about 5 or 6 kilometers down to the Esquimalt Lagoon.
And that's where they have Royal Roads University.
Yes, they do. Yeah, lots of students.
Do you ever go to Eats and Beats on the beach?
I've seen it, but I have not.
So that's a lot of fun. It's on, I think, Thursdays and Fridays, and it's they play music. They usually have people come out and they play music, and they have amplifiers. It's right on the spit in Colwood. It's called the Esquimalt Lagoon, and then they have food trucks show up.
Oh, that's really cool. Well, I'm going to have to check that out, because that beach down there it's beautiful. It still has a very wild feel. A lot of driftwood floating up, a lot of boats going by, a lot of huge tankers going by and stuff. So it's a lot of interesting stuff, and lots of people down there with their pets and their families. It feels really great down there.
Yeah, actually, they used to have a rowing club down there. Do you know why it's called Royal Roads, though?
I don't.
Because they used to do the passage of the ships in the Navy, and that's the Royal Road.
No kidding.
All right. So, anything else you want to add about Victoria?
I would say Victoria, Colwood, Langford, you get a lot more for your money out here. Like, for what I paid for my place, I kind of feel a little bit guilty, like as if I might have stole it from the developer. But so get on it.
It's about 30% less than what you would have paid in Oak Bay.
Oh, a lot less than Oak Bay, probably half the price of Oak Bay. For what I got here, this would have been over $1 million in Oak Bay. But so less than half price.
Location.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and space. I have lots of space. Before, I was living in Oak Bay in a 1-bedroom. They're going to tear my old place down, and so I was very happy to get this, find it, move in, get a renter. It's all just great. Like, so relaxing to be put together.
Awesome. Okay, well, if you want more information about development in Victoria, let me know. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camaun. If you want more information about Premier Suites, stay tuned, because we're going to be back and talking about this fabulous rental opportunity for investors. We'll be right back.
Vancouver Island Time is brought to you by the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camaun, Victoria, where we bring local expertise and global presence to your property.
Okay, and we're back with
Rachelle Keeley from Premier Suites.
So, Rachelle, tell me what are Premier Suites?
Premier Suites is a Canadian national company that we can all be proud of. It was started by Tim Moore 20 years ago, so we're already at our 20th anniversary. We take condos from owners, so we have an owner's pool, and we rent them to business travelers, people that have an insurance claim that need to be out of the home for a while. A lot of projects in Victoria, like, the Blue Bridge engineers, things like that. So these are totally furnished service condos with a support team behind them, and they're just so affordable and so much better than a hotel.
So people buy the condos, and then you guys furnish them, or the owners furnish them?
Both. So I do work with the owners, tell them exactly what we're working with. We want a 4-star standard. So the furniture and everything has to be pretty much like what you see in my home behind me, minus the palm tree. So we take on condos from owners, privately owned condos, and then we furnish them to a 4-star standard. The furniture can be purchased and picked up by the owner, but I can do it in about a week. And of course, I have the connections in Victoria, so I buy locally, try to put in as much Canadian made things as we can, just to keep all of ourselves going.
Is that how you know Raheem from Max Furniture?
That's how I know the dream. Raheem the dream. Yes, he's a good friend. Yes, and Scan Design too, if you don't mind me plugging them too. Yeah. They help me out a lot with the furniture. Always willing to, give me something off the floor if they can. And I know they use the floor models to sell, but sometimes they'll just let me take it, because we're always rented before we're finished. So we carry about an 85 to 92% occupancy, which is really good. I know the hotels don't have that. And we do work with some hotels as well. So when we're full, we try to partner up with them and make sure that the business just comes into Victoria. That's really all we want. There's a spot for everybody in Victoria. We're one of them, and we don't mind getting people into Victoria for everybody.
So do you do short-term and long-term rentals?
We do. We're licensed with the City of Victoria, so our minimum is a week, and our maximum right now has been 3 years. We've had a client with us for 3 years.
And what's a percentage that you guys take of the revenue?
We do a 70-30 split with the owner. So some owners have asked me which one gets the 70. And I'm like, you do. They get the 70%, we get the 30%. Seems to work out really well that way. We've worked in the city. We're going into our 15th year, Jane. So we're pretty pleased to be here. We have a great relationship with City Hall, with bylaws as well. So all of our suites are licensed. All the business license numbers are on our local website. We have 2 websites, a local and a national. I don't think they're on the national one, but the City of Victoria would like them on our local one. So you can find us just by Googling Premier Suites Victoria, and the rest is just so easy. You can phone our office. You can pop in. We're right on Johnston Street. We have a book with all of our suites in it. You can also look on our website, give you a really good idea of what you're dealing with. It's, and a lot of our apartments are pet friendly. So we have had cats stay with us too, but of course they have to come with a chaperone.
Okay, so what about cleaning?
Our agreement with our owners and with our clients is we will clean the suite every 2 weeks. It's kind of our way of making sure that everything is good in the suite. We're doing inspections this month, so all of our 65 suites will be inspected in February. And it's to know if we need to replace a sofa or if the shower needs to be recaulked or regrouted or whatever. Anything that needs to be replaced, that's what we're looking for. We want to make sure that our standard stays a 4-star standard. Anything that needs to be repainted, repaired. We don't just spot paint. That never looks good. So we will plaster, sand, and then paint the whole wall so that everything is, we want them looking brand new all the time.
Okay, and you have an inventory of each suite.
We do. So we have a standardized inventory all the way across Canada. I am a little bit of a cheater, so I have added like a lemon press and a garlic press and coasters and vases and a blender, like stuff that you would have at home, just to make it easier. Some of our larger suites, like if we've got a 2 or 3 bedroom suite, they might have more things like a panini maker, stuff that families would use, waffle maker.
So, okay, I have a list of all the properties because I've asked for this for potential investors. Do you find like right now there's a change in the city moving away from short-term rentals towards longer term, like more than 30 days?
We do 31 nights. We do a lot of that. I would say that's 90% of our business, but for our clients in the insurance industry, we did need to keep some short-term rental. A lot of times if there's a flood or a frozen pipe or something in your house, they're going to get you out of there while they tear the walls out and assess the situation. And then you can go home when it goes out to bids. So that first 2 weeks we really need. When they come back, then we'll put them in one of our longer term stays. So we do 31 nights because PST, GST, and the hotel stay tax, some of the rules don't jive with each other. So if you do 30 days, there's a tax implication on some of it. So we just decided 31 nights was probably going to be more help to us and to the clients all the way across. And we haven't had any problems with that. So that's what
Yeah, it triggers a GST too when you go to sell if you have short-term rentals.
Yes, and we are really diligent. So we don't want our owners getting dinged for speculation tax. We don't want them getting dinged on that GST thing. So we make sure that each and every one of our owners does have the 6-month, 1-month rentals in their suites. So we spreadsheet this all year long.
And where do you get your clients? Realtors like me?
Realtors like you, Jane. Thank you so much. So we get a lot of people that just phone us, and I would actually prefer that they work with a realtor, because then we can make sure it's going to cash flow with what we can rent it for. They're going to know really and truly what they're buying. They're going to know the bylaws, what's okay in the building, what's not okay in the building. So it's harder for us if a building has a 3-month bylaw or a 6-month rental as a minimum rental. Anything residential 30 days or more we can deal with. Anything that's already in the buildings that are grandfathered in for transient zoning, those are good for us too.
Okay, so I'm finding though that the rules tend to be, you're talking about grandfathering, but if somebody's buying now, they're not going to be grandfathered. And some of the rules are changing around short-term rentals. Is that impeding anything?
No, not really. As far as I know with City Hall, and I can check this, Jane. As far as I know, if there's anybody, like let's just take the Juliet, for example, the Juliet building. If there's anybody in the Juliet doing a short-term rental, then other people in the building are allowed to, whether they're new owners or not. So the building is grandfathered. There would be a problem if 1 year nobody was doing a short-term rental in there and nobody was in the building was licensed, then the building would be done. So I don't think that we're going to get in that situation. I think people are still going to want to offer short-term rentals.
So you're essential to the building?
I think we're essential to the insurance industry and Victorians in general. Like, what else would you do?
That's so interesting, because for me, primarily when I thought of you, I thought mostly it would be people coming in for business, but you're talking insurance over and over again.
Yes. Well, we have a really strong relationship with the insurance industry. We found them, they found us, and it's a really good partnership, especially for local people, because then you're staying with local people without couch surfing on all your friends and trying to figure it out. So we need both, actually, because we do probably 80% of our stays are with corporations bringing people in. So Blue Bridge Engineers, Department of National Defense, those kind of big contracts, airports, anything that's being built where somebody is going to have to come in, project managers, anything like that. Plus the insurance industry, very, very tiny, maybe 1% of people that would come for a vacation and find us and do a short-term rental. So vacation rental is not our bread and butter.
Do owners have to get a GST number?
No, they don't.
Because it's usually more than 30 days.
Because we remit the tax if there is a taxable situation, so the owner doesn't have to worry about that. We take care of all that. We in our package for the owners. So we've got their agreement with us, their business license to be signed, their consent form that goes to City Hall. Even a void check, so we can deposit their rental rate in the bank for them. So and with our rental packages for the clients, they've got their Form K, they've got their rental contract with us, they've got a credit card authorization. So our paperwork is pretty robust.
Okay, what about people who come and visit in the summer? So I'm thinking of teachers from other countries who are moving to Victoria.
Yes, we do a lot of relocation. So we work with the 7 largest relocators in North America and Europe. So we're good friends with them. The relocators, they don't have property. They just need companies that do have the property. So we work well with them. We have had a lot of university profs come in, a lot of doctors coming in, nurses, that kind of thing. Gamers, guys that write the gaming programs, they've stayed with us. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting. We never have the same day twice, ever.
What's the best thing about your job?
I would say that the variety. So, and somebody asked me if I had a superpower, what would it be? And I already know what it is. My superpower is that I have staff with superpowers.
Delegate.
Yes. Well, but I don't have to micromanage. I've got a super strong team that they're of the same mindset I am. Give people a beautiful place to stay. If they're here to work, they'll be more productive. They've got a beautiful place. It's very central. Everything's convenient, and a huge support staff to be with them.
And where are you located?
We're in about 28 buildings downtown, if you can believe it, Jane. 28 buildings already. So it only took 15 years. So it's like a couple of buildings a year. So I would say most of our apartments are right in the core of downtown. That's where most of our call is. We will be expanding into Sydney shortly. So because we now have enough call in Sydney to come out. Haven't had enough call in Colwood yet, but we're thinking, eventually we'll get there. Give me another 15 years.
Yeah, well, I do find, there's actually a lot of money on the West Shore.
There's a lot of business in Victoria. Like, people think Victoria's a nice, sleepy little government town. It's not. It's thriving. It's growing. It's really and truly one of the most diverse business centers you can imagine.
Well, you know what? I've really enjoyed our talk. This is better than the first time we did it.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah, maybe we're just a little more practiced now.
Okay, so if you want information, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can Google Premier Suites Victoria and we should pop up, or you can drive by our office at 834 Johnston Street. We're in townhouse number 1, right next to the main door. Just come through the gate and we're right there to help you. You can call us at our office at 250-595-5639, or you can yell really loud.
Email.
You can email us. Yes, you can email reservations.victoria@premiersuites.com. You can also press the buttons on our website that will put in a request form, and somebody will either email you back or call you.
Right. And if you want information about the buildings that you're looking for rentals in, let me know. I've got a list and I'm happy to share with you that information. If you want more information about Victoria in general, give me a call. I'm Jane Johnston with the Bar Hill Group at Remax Camaun. And if you want more information about Premier Suites, contact you. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We hope you have had some insight into West Coast living. If you know of someone or some place that should be highlighted in our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on our Connect button. See you next week on Vancouver Island Time with Jane Johnston.